Hello everyone, my name is Val, and welcome to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So, this is going to be the first gaming video on this channel in quite a while. The last video that I made I was probably about 12 years old. All the gaming content that used to be on this channel is gone now. So, yeah, all that's left was my music. And now I'm starting to get back into video games because I mean this. So yeah, today we're celebrating this game's release. This game has actually been a comfort game of mine since probably freshman year. I won't get into why, but you know. Trying to get myself situated here. All right, let's just jump into it, I guess. And sorry if the audio sucks. Still working out the kinks. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Val. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Val, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. Huh? That's not true! You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. If you know sign language, you know what that means. But you can probably guess. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn to... that you won't learn to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're so not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Hold on. Bless me. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. If I keep shifting a lot, it's because I'm still in my work pants, and they really just, you know. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, you know. No, what? Well, you could come to my club. Sayori. Yeah. There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Don't be a dick. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please? Why do you care so much anyway? Well, kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes! Let's go! I love Sayori. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I would sell my soul for a cupcake. I have a huge sweet tooth, and I would sell my soul. I would sell my soul for just like a teaspoon of fucking pudding. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member's here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Huh? I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Yes, I'm going to do character voices for all of these girls. I rotate my microphone so the front's facing me. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Val, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. You horny fuck. You horny little shit. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The little... I love Natsuki. She is best girl. Natsuki's definitely a comfort character for me. Comfort character for a comfort game. Honestly, I really love Natsuki. I didn't get to read what that said. Hold on. No, that's not what I want. Hold on. Is there like... Yes, that's what I want. Okay. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. The controls in this game are whack. I'm so used to playing this on the PC. But, you know, I bought it for my fucking Switch. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. If you're wondering why I bought this on the Switch, I want to take this game places with me. Not in like a creepy way. That sounded creepy. I don't know. Like I said, this game is a comfort game, and I want to be able to play it whenever I can. And since the Switch is a portable device, and my laptop isn't as portable, you know, it's convenient. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You could just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet the both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Val. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other, well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. I wonder what Monica would play. Monica definitely seems like a tennis girl. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Excuse me. Come sit down, Val. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. So, yeah. Real quick, my character voices for Sayori... no! So, my character voices for Sayori and Natsuki are kind of similar because they both have a similar vibe, and the same goes for Monica and Yuri. They're similar character voices. They're more soft-spoken and gentle. So, you know, those are the voices I do for them. I try to keep Yuri lower and Monica higher. And as far as Natsuki and Sayori go, I try to add a little more sweetness to Sayori, a little more softness. So it's kind of like a blend between Natsuki and Monica for Sayori. And Natsuki is just Natsuki. Anyways, what did they say? Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Sayori proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Or, no, wait, is that Natsuki? Did that say Natsuki or Sayori? Natsuki. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table. Sorry about that. I'm blind. I can't read. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. I want to see the cupcakes. Those sound adorable and delicious. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs one first, then Monica. I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. What a connoisseur! You're a pastry connoisseur, aren't you, MC? Natsuki's quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. I love baking, honestly. I've been baking shit since I was a kid. I've been baking shit probably since I stopped doing video game videos on this channel. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? That's a callback. That's a callback right there. This line definitely was not in the original game. So this is definitely calling back to the original game. It's kind of like a deja vu kind of thing. Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe, but not for, you, dummy. All right. I give up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you to enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, to be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica's a really great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. Then I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. I can tell you firsthand that it is. Sophomore year of high school, I started a ukulele club with one of my friends, who I'm no longer friends with, and crumbled right before the second semester. No! You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile, but it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it? Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls all interested in the same goal. Monica must have really worked hard to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. My mouth was too fast for my brain, so I had to like slow everything down. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with her level of enthusiasm about literature. So Val, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. Yes, I'm miming that motion. Shut up. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seemed so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But, you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your lack of imagination and completely throw you for a loop? Is she talking about M. Night? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I could relate to at the minimal level. Fucking same, dude. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. She might as well have got like 2 brain cells. They rattle around in my pea-brain skull, and whenever one of them hits the corner like the DVD player, I experience a thought. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Well, why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud! And give that back! Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayuri slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing them even the deepest reaches of your heart. Pain makes for great material. As a songwriter, I know that firsthand. And in turn, it works out because, writing is actually a very healthy coping mechanism for any kind of struggles, mental illness, what have you. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. And now I just said silence. 21 Pilots. What happened? Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone's even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Val? Monika smiles warmly at me again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind this entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayuri may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made my decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All 4 girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought. Val, you all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes! I'm so happy! Sayuri wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you just came for the cupcakes, I'd be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Val, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress half the class? Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Val, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. Sayuri and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! I don't know how to do that line. It's different. Like, yays and yeses are different. I don't know how to do the yays without it sounding awkward. With that, the two of us depart the clubroom and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayuri, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Alright, we're gonna do the poem minigame, and then we're gonna do the next day, and then we'll pick up in the next episode. So, yeah. Alright. So we're going for Natsuki here, because of course she's best girl. And I originally thought about doing a perfect run, try to make all of them happy so I can get like the good ending. But I don't know, maybe I'll save that for after we finish the regular run through, because we got to do the regular run through and the side stories and blah 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 blah. So maybe after all that we can try to get a perfect run, and then we can also lost my train of thought, and we can also do like a Easter eggs and secrets kind of thing. All right, continue. Fluffy, I like that word. Jumpy. Oh no, boo. Bouncy. Anime. Doki Doki. Hop. Giggle. Kitty. Silly. Ah, fuck. I was hoping to get like perfect Natsuki. Candy. Jeez, 4 more. Okay. Kawaii. Puppy. Poof. Sticky. Bubbles. Why is sticky one of those words? It's kind of gross. And kind of sus. Hi again, Val. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. It might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Val. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what, but if you don't take it seriously, then you won't hear the end of it. Did she say hear or see? She said see. Okay. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the classroom. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Plops. It's a Brutal Moose reference. Don't worry, guys. Val always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking, like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. That line is so awkward. That's like not even like a good... That's not even like a good roast or anything. Like, yeah, of course a messy room is distracting. But messy rooms actually do help to foster creativity, so you know. And you almost set your house on fire once. Yeah, you fucking arsonist. Is that so? You two really are good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Val can become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? Huh? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. Oh, excuse me. God, that was nasty. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. I hear Natsuki utter an exasperated sigh from within the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga's one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. How'd you know anyways? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a lone volume of manga amidst a stack of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatches it out of my hand. She then turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the dress. Ah, much better. Seeing a box set with one missing book's probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get a closer look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? It's a series I've never heard in my life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can go do it through the glass on that door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Val. Consider this a lesson straight from the Literature Club. Don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. She shoves the book right into my hands. I I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. It's exceedingly moe. Oh, don't just stand there. Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsills. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. Huh? Why's that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. Make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arm and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry. I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. She's in love. Oh, Natsuki's in love. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I read the beginning? You don't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing's really happened yet, so I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. Kind of grew out of these since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. Fuck you! I love slice of life anime. Ouran High School Host Club is my shit. Okay, slice of life is really good. I don't know. I've never been too much into like fantasy or action anime or manga or whatever. Really, the only ones I could get into were like Soul Eater, and I'm afraid to admit it, but Sword Art Online. And I don't know, I kind of watched a little bit of Black Clover, but then I got bored. There's some other ones, but I can't think off the top of my head. But yeah, usually I like slice of life, romance, comedy, you know, and horror. So, you know, like Death Note, whatever. But yeah, I also like really sad stuff, you know. A Silent Voice. It's not a series, but it's a movie. It's an anime movie, and it's really good. It's a Netflix original. You should go watch it. I'm not going to take the time to explain the plot here. You can just go look up the synopsis on Google or some shit. What should I expect from this? Is there going to be plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that didn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of the beginning is about simple things. Like, there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with the guy at the ice cream shop. But that just helps you get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama, like when they get into all their backstories and when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it so good. There's so many touching parts. Is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait, what's that supposed to mean? What? Natsuki gives me a little shove. I just meant that I haven't seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in this manga? Well, Natsuki pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't want to admit something. Yeah. Why does that matter? Oh, why does that matter? Sorry, I read it in the wrong voice. I need to read the fucking character names. It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got into this manga. Like I would ever get into anything because it's in a manga. I feel bad for anyone that impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. Right there with you, bud. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, of all hobbies to pick up from a manga, that's definitely one of the better ones. Like I said before, I love baking. Make mean chocolate chip cookies. But y'all are internet people, so y'all are never gonna get to try them. Fuck. Okay, I don't know what happened there. I guess I nudged my USB connector, and that kind of like cut off the video signal to the streaming software. So, yeah, sorry about that. We're gonna get back into the game now. Okay. That was so fucking stupid. Okay. Not to mention she's really good at it. What did that say? What did that say? Not to mention she's really good at it, so who am I to judge? We read on for a few more minutes. I've finished a couple chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not. Even though you're just watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga's for kids. I can't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. I know those kinds of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you're enjoying yourself, right? So? Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts a finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express it in words, the feeling you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience, the thought makes me smile a little bit to myself. Okay, everyone. Huh? Are you all ready with today's poems? Oh, come on! Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. Though you do look pretty cozy over there. Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright, I guess I'll stop here for now. Close the book and hand it towards Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Monica just said, don't be dumb, just take it home with you. Huh? Is that really alright? I say that mostly because I didn't really plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow. I only got part way through the volume so far. Might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip my book into the bag. Slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sarah and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sarah uses on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. God, I wish I could do better girl voices. I hate how deep my voice is, honestly. I would give anything to have a more feminine or more androgynous voice. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Well, we're obviously going to start with Natsuki because she is best girl and we're trying to go for her. So, Gotta do everything we can to the Natsuki route. What did that say? Gosh. I don't know what I had, but it's making burp so much. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. Okay, well, let's start with things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Huh? Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monica said. Well, I'd be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ha, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. Hope you're happy. She's so cute. I love her. So, in other words, you're saying you liked it? Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. You're so... You just don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that, so you don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. I say that mostly to myself. I would too. Natsuki must really hate me or something. I can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? God, my side profile. No. I need to stop looking at my computer screen or I'm gonna delete this whole fucking video. I hate my side profile so much. I wish I was prettier. Fine, I guess. Only because Monica will make me if I don't. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. But that's about it. Yeah, pretty much. Humans kind of suck. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems... Too many P's. So much alliteration. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read but hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like, I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? That line's confusing. At the beginning of this game, of this version at least, there's a disclaimer at the beginning that says all the characters in this game are 18 and over. So if Natsuki was the youngest one, she would have to be at least 18. And if she's the youngest one there, then everyone else would have to be older than 18. Or at least a couple months older than Natsuki. So, I don't know, but like, saying it like that is like, it would be like years younger. Like, you wouldn't say that if you were only a couple months younger than someone, you know? So, you know, that would mean everyone else would have to be like 19 or older. But they're all in high school. So that doesn't make sense. But, you know, I guess you have to justify that for all the fucking weirdos who make the fucking Doki Doki Literature Club porn. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone else is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. And we're gonna go with Sayori next. This is a good poem, Val. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right, but that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really just happy that you wrote one. Just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing right in front of you in this club room. Snarky bitch. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Val. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people. That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That'll be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! Sayori, stop saying yay, I can't do it! Can't do it! Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you... This is my headcanon right here. Sayori plays ukulele. I wholeheartedly believe that Sayori is a ukulele girl. Like, she just has ukulele girl vibes. I don't know. The way you glow through my blinds in the morning makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, and the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Breakfast is always good to have any time of day. You can have breakfast at any time of day, and you should never be judged for it. Especially dinner. Like, my family, a lot of the time, we have breakfast sandwiches for dinner. We'll have eggs and bacon, sausage, potatoes, whatever. This is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, that at least makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. Yes, it is. Don't skip breakfast, kids. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Who should I show my poem to next? I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of a hard decision. Not because I like both of them, but because I don't like both of them. I don't know what it is about Yuri, but I don't know. I don't know. There's just something about her character that just throws me off. Aside from, like, I don't want to spoil it too hard, but, it's been 4 years since the original game came out. Anyone watching this should know the plot by this point. But, yeah. I guess we'll go with Monica. Hi, Val. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better of just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Val. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Val. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something that Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer, too. So take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. There are lots of poems or stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad. and sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids, but if you think about them, they can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki's kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert, but you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I could see why it'd be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Foreshadowing. That's foreshadowing. What is it? Foreshadowing. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. Wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. More foreshadowing. There is so much foreshadowing with Monica. But I mean, that'd be obvious. Because, you know, fourth wall breaks and everything. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll get just a big, dark puddle of ink. So move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Oh, my legs are itchy. My whole body's itchy. I don't like this. There's lots of mosquitoes where I am, so that's probably what it is. I hate this. Make the itches go away, please. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine. Don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Stop. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. So it's that bad. No! Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering's completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it'll all come with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gave valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. All three, baby! Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? I have to, get closer for this one. Because I can't read cursive. I can't. I just can't. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow of bathing. It must be this one. Oh, it's called Ghost into the Light. The last remaining streetlights have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting's very pretty. Oh, that's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Val. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. That's kind of rude. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. Sorry. It just came out of me. Doing these voices is tightening my throat. I consider doing voice training to kind of morph my voice to be more androgynous. Because, I don't like my regular speaking voice. But, what was I going to say? Yeah, I figured having to change the way I speak, it would take a lot of effort as opposed to just speaking normally, which is effortless. It would take a lot more work to change my voice. And speaking like that all the time would probably be a pain, so I figured I'd rather not. But yeah, that kind of relates to what I said, right? My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Val did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Val liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Val appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Val started showing up. Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turn towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. I love conflict. Val? She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get her over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more... Totally ruined the vibe. And learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader and not force them to have to figure it out. If that's how Natsuki feels, she'd enjoy Hobo Johnson. Help me explain that to her, Val. Wait, there's a reason that we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way we can convey complex feelings and meaning the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Val? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course it's going to be, help me, Sayori! I don't know. I know these girls are fake and they're fictional and they're just a program, but I don't want to make anyone upset, so... I don't know. I don't want to upset anyone, so I called on Sayori. Natsuki. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Huh? Yeah! Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Val. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. That's not true. If you're making your friends uncomfortable with your own conflict and your own problems and your own bullshit and your own drama, take it away from them. You know? Just let them live their lives happily. And don't put all your bullshit in front of them unless they're okay with it or unless they want you to. Unless they're there, unless you ask them to support you in something. You should never argue in front of your friends. If you and another friend in your friend group have beef and you have to talk it out, take it somewhere else, away from all of your other friends, because no one wants to hear it. No one wants to be brought down, you know? Just keep it keep it in the DMs. Or go outside. Do it away from everyone else. Anyways, back to this. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that's making her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same size as they always were, big and beautiful. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monika stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. Existential crisis time! Let's go, baby! So this is why Sayori is vice president, I whisper to Monika. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monika smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a bit more. That's a joke about how Monika doesn't have a route, and she's never gonna get one. Except, mods. Sucks that this game was made in Unity, Because modding was so much easier in Ren'Py. And now people are gonna have to, do so much more work to make mods for this game. But I mean, I guess why would you want to anyways? Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Val, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself. I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Val, ready to walk home? Sure. Let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori, about what happened earlier. Huh? What do you mean? Between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No! That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. Val, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me happy. Makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is gonna be so much fun. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. And pat Sayori on the shoulder. Soldier? She has a soldier? Thought quartering was illegal. Or at least forced quartering. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Alright. Oh, wait. Hold on. Ignore that there's already a save here. I tried to film this earlier, but you know, audio was kind of wacky, so I re-recorded it. But I hope you guys like it. Before we go, I want to show you guys something. In case... So this is what happens when you click exit DDLC. It takes you to this faux computer desktop. You can go to the side stories. I guess only Monica and Sayuri are unlocked right now. So wait, how do you unlock all 6? To get all 6 side stories, try writing poems for different characters and viewing their special scenes. Okay, so I guess we have to do like the perfect run before we end up doing the side stories, because that's the only way we're gonna unlock these. And you know, files, characters, games, internal. What's this? Okay. Ooh, that's suspicious. Internal. Where's this taking me? I don't know what any of that's for, but if it's here, it's probably important. Yeah, the RPA files, that's our RenP files. I wonder what happens if you delete these. Or any of these files. Monica.chr, Natsuki.chr, and Sayuri, and Yuri. Yeah. Mail? What's this? Yeah. There's gonna be more stuff, definitely. Like, it's not just gonna be side stories and stuff. I mean, what's this mail function for? Obviously. In settings. Yeah, I think that's just game settings. Alright. Anyways, this has been episode 1 of Doki Doki Literature Club Plus with Val. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Music content is coming back. Funny Feelings already out. So yeah, more music is coming, you know. We got more water parks on the way with their newest record, Greatest Hits. And Palais Royale's releasing some new music this month, so maybe we'll get some new Palais Royale covers as well. And we're gonna get some more Bo Burnham on this channel. I love him. And yeah, of course, more Doki Doki Literature Club on the way. And hopefully more games as well. So yeah, maybe this channel won't be just music anymore. We're gonna get some more stuff for you guys. It's gonna be really exciting. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.